Thank you for joining us as we do the review. Ben is here.
Hi.
Hi there again.
So it's always a pleasure to dig into the papers, find out what exactly they have for us. Let's take it from here. I'll start with the...
Let me just say that our colleague Erastus Asare-Donko with Love FM will join us as we do the review. He will also talk about his experience reporting on the robbery incident in the Ashanti region. Reason we have the Deputy Regional Police Commander joining us later this morning to discuss the issues with the robberies. People don't feel safe in Kumasi in particular. So what are they doing about it exactly? And what are some of the tips that he can share with us so that we can all protect ourselves? All right, Ben?
Mama V, when was the last time you were in Kumasi?
2 weeks ago or a week ago for a call's wedding. Yes,
very
quite recent.
Yeah. And what did you notice? I mean, we're all talking about the security situation and all of that.
I didn't experience any security issues,
but
Kumasi is a beautiful place. I've said that if they transfer me to Kumasi, I'll go.
You'll be grateful there. Careful what you ask for. Anyway, let's start with the Ghanaian publisher. And it says, Ahafo remains grateful to Akufo-Addo chiefs declare. Ghana link GRA train stakeholders on ICOMS. And then Akufo-Addo calls for calm in Nigeria. Now, some people were taking him on with regard to his, purported delay, but I think better late than never. Some were citing what happened in the Mills era when, Mills was being pushed to say something about a similar incident. But His Excellency, the President, has responded. Ghana lost $114.8 million to cybercrime in the last 2 years. Imagine that. And then Ghana is ready for AfCFTA, that is the African Trade Agreement. Trade Minister Alan Tremantain saying that. Mama V.
Let's do the Daily Graphic front page. President Akufo-Addo calls for calm in Nigeria. So that same headline or story, if you like, in the publisher, also making it here. Gold Assay Center blocks 14 million Ghana cedis tax evasion. Let's invest more in science. March quiz. That's a call by past contestants of the National Science and Maths Quiz program. Church of Prosperity collapsed building, debt toll rises to 14. We were told that there's been another body, but we're going to clarify that. So is it 14 or 15 exactly? And what's the latest? Where are we with this rescue? But the assurances, at least by the Eastern Region Minister, says that they're going to ensure that whether dead or alive, they don't leave any human being in that wreckage there. FDA reauthorizes sale of Kwa mixture. In fact, the entire center spread of the paper has the story. On the back page, 3 dump sites cleared in Bono region. And examine your breasts regularly. Medical doctor advises women and men. We're talking breast cancer in men on our show. And I think that the women fairly know how to examine their breasts. Yeah. But as for you guys, I don't know.
That's the problem.
Where do you even touch?
We ought to get more accustomed to the breast, screening bit, testing ourselves at home. I mean, I'm just imagining, wow.
How about we test you live on the show?
Live on the show?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Really?
Absolutely not. Not live on television.
What would you be hiding? You guys don't have what we have.
But the Daily Guide this morning says, Nana savors #1 slot. Did you see that tweet of his? Savoring the #1, talking about his party being the first in everything, just as the party's General Secretary John Gwedu had done. So the Daily Guide captures that. Government is shielding #1, says Mahama, and then Lithovit fertilizer diluted witness. That's according to a witness. Then Bono's 60-year-old refuse dump cleared. Imagine that, 60 years on. And then church collapses, 12 killed. And so I think varying reports coming through, some saying 12, others saying 14, some saying 15, but we'll be getting into the details of that story. Now, on the back page, it says, a Champon saves Teda from relegation, GFA cry over stadium charges. And this is an interesting one, a matter we're delving into on the show today. Nigeria government are killers. Now, Manchester United striker Odion Igalo has pleaded with the UK government and the United Nations to help the people of Nigeria after protesters were killed on the streets of Lagos. So Odion Igalo has joined the fray. He's talking about it. Özil blasts Arsenal after axe. And that is the Daily Guide newspaper.
All right, let's say good morning to our colleague Erastus Asari Danko, who joins us via Zoom. Erastus? Okay, we're going to get Erastus right back. So let me just do the daily dispatch whilst we work on that. Erastus is back, so let me just say good morning. Erastus?
Amavi, good morning.
Good morning. There you are. I hope you're well and you're keeping safe at least.
I'm well.
Nice. So you're going to be doing the Ghanaian Times and the Business and Financial Times. Let's hear you. Ben?
Okay, so let's move on to the Daily Statesman newspaper. 14.5 million euros, 60-bed hospital for Ketu North. That's some progress there. Akufo-Addo calls for calm in Nigeria, urges the use of dialogue in the hashtag End SARS protests. There's also Volta Ahafo chiefs eulogize compassionate visionary Akufo-Addo. When you go to the back page of that paper, it says Messi equals another record in Barcelona win, and he actually scored on a joint record 16th Champions League season, and 17-year-old Pedri netted his first senior goal as Barcelona beat Ferencváros. You know, when it comes to the Champions League, there are always records being broken. So that's another one broken right there. He has actually equaled it. Then Angel Correa insists Partey's departure is a big loss for Atletico Madrid. And if you know what happened to Atletico yesterday, you would realize that it was trouble right there. Atletico went down by 4-0 to the champions of the Champions League. I'm talking here about Bayern Munich. So quite a situation there yesterday. And you can understand why Correa is saying that they miss the man, Thomas Partey, who now is donning an Arsenal jersey. He's a gunner. But let me move on to the Daily Heritage newspaper. That's and this one says, I will win Krowo seat with 4,000 votes margin. That is Namomo predicting that on the NDC end. Only 18% paid depositors of savings and loans companies cry. I'll back free SHS with solid infrastructure. Mahama points to track record in infrastructure development. That's an interesting development there. Of course, he's been saying that his detractors are claiming he is not for free SHS, but that is not the case. Nungwara House CEO rescues amputee patient from Kolebu. A bit of a gory scene. When I go to the back page of that paper, the Daily Heritage, it says, NSA rescinds decision on user fees for Accra Sports Stadium, and Efriye to lead Ghana against Nigeria and the Ivory Coast.
All right, let's try and see if Erastus is ready to do the Ghanaian Times for us. Okay, so let me just go straight away, do the Daily Dispatch. Yes, what's on the front page of the Daily Dispatch? Does the position on the ballot affect a party's chances? Greatly will discuss this matter with the owner of this paper, Uncle Benefsin, yesterday here on our show. NPA response to tanker drivers. Sanitation Ministry praised by Western North communities for cleaning dump sites. And Jogate to retain Escado Ketan for NPP. Jogate has been in Parliament for quite a while. 3 parliaments, really, if you like. The 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and he's going for the 8th. I have spoken to President Buhari. That's according to President Akufo-Addo's statements that he posted yesterday on the Nigeria situation. So pretty much that's it for the Daily Dispatch. Let's tell you what's in the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Front page, 9 died, 14 rescued after collapse of church building. Nationwide evacuation of dam sites moves to Bono region. Politicians must allow public institutions to work. That's a call by Vladimir Enchidanso. After days of violent protests, bloodshed in Nigeria, President, world leaders call for calm. And I guess the criticism has been the fact that our own African leaders had been very quiet. We heard from Western leaders way before our own leaders started to speak up on this matter. Eventually, the president of Nigeria also finally issuing a statement through a spokesperson. We've heard from the UN, the ECOWAS Commission. Now the AU has also said something on this matter. On the back page of the Ghanaian Times, Ghana is ready for the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, says the Minister for Trade, Alan Trematin. Also, 4 companies donate cash items for farmers. The last paper for me, at least, and then we will get Erastus to come through and share a story that he's filed on the robberies and some experiences he would share with us in that regard. But the Business and Financial Times front page, 36 companies, 12 individuals honored at 2020 Ghana Business Standard Awards. High data demand sees CST exceed target by 80%, but total revenue continues abysmal performance. Also, 60-year-old dam sites evacuated in Bono region. We don't owe government any taxes, according to the Association of Oil Marketing Companies and LPG Marketing Companies. They rejected claims that some of their members are indebted to the government in terms of taxes to the tune of 25.5 billion Ghana cedis. There are plenty more stories in the paper, some features and opinions as well that you can, grab and read. But let's just bring Erastus. Erastus, hi there again. You couldn't go through the papers with us, but you can certainly tell us about the robberies being recorded in the Ashanti region. You witnessed one yesterday. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Mama B, sorry about that. I wanted to really comment on the church collapse.
Go ahead. Erastus, go ahead. Go ahead and talk about it.
That's a huge mistake on our part as a country. I thought we've learned from the Malcolm building collapse and all the building collapse we've witnessed along the line. I think by now we should have some policies in place to check this thing. How many buildings are going up without any checks or so ever? The various assemblies, do they really check the structure, integrity of this before they allow it to go on? I think as a country, we should move beyond this. It's shameful that in this age, we have institutions that can check this, and then it could allow people, and then we come crying. There's not a way to go. I think we should be learning from this. Put the necessary things in place for people. Before you put up a building, a high-rise structure, it should go through some process before people can even enter and start doing business.
Yeah, it's interesting, Ben, how we get to know about the defects when they go down. Yeah. When it collapses, then we get to learn that, there were some structural defects after all.
I actually, listened to the assembly, a representative speaking, and he was trying to shift the goalpost, suggest that, this structure had been, like we captured on myjoyonline.com, 28 years uncompleted and all of that. Someone should have known that this was just a waiting disaster. Time was ticking and no one responded to it. But he was trying to say he had merely been in charge for about 2 years. But 2 years is long enough for you to spot some of these, issues. And it's really sad. As I listened, my heart, I really felt for some of those who had lost family members and all of that. One of the stories, a 7-year-old, he was just sent out to go and get something, and that was his salvation. He would have died with the others. A woman was lamenting, weeping because she had lost her sister. No one wants to be in that position, and we could have easily avoided it.
Absolutely. Yesterday, there was only one person who was pulled out who had survived. I think also the painful thing is that we don't know the exact numbers trapped under the rubble. So we will be still following up on this matter today to see. I think the Eastern Regional Minister has been quite forthcoming with information, giving us updates and what authorities are doing. So we'll be following this matter again. Erastus, we'll come to you with the security issues, but Ben, do you have an issue you want to highlight? Any
From the
story
papers?
From the papers, yes.
Well, let's start with the Daily Guide. I'll do two very quick ones on page 3. The first one has to do with, since we're talking security, NPP MP killers caged. And it says 6 persons arrested in connection with a gruesome murder of Eko Kwanzaa, the NPP MP for Infantiman in the Central Region, have been remanded in police custody by an Accra Circuit Court. Now, the 6 have been accused of robbing the MP and his campaign team at gunpoint and killing him in the process. The suspects include Al-Hassan Abubakar, a.k.a. Abu Fulani, phone repairer, Naziru Fadilu, a.k.a. SP, businessman, Al-Hassan, what kind of business is that? Al-Hassan Mama Yaya, a.k.a. Mystical Cloud, unemployed, Amadou Yakubu, mobile money agent, Haruna Osman trader, Adam Al-Hassan, scrap dealer, and another suspect only identified as Mohammed, who is currently at large. And all of them pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of conspiracy and robbery. For me, this is the good part. At least we've quickly apprehended some people, but let it not go the same way that the JB Dankwedu case went, because up to today, his alias, they all have aliases apparently, are always, you remember Sexy Don Don?
Yes.
He is still behind bars. We don't really know what is happening with that case, and it's just sad. If he is culpable, let him face, the music. But it appears we apprehend all these people and usually nothing comes out of it. I could say same for Professor Yao Bene as well. At least one of them has lost his life, but the other one who was apprehended in Tema. We just pray that justice will not be delayed. But the other one I wanted to do, government is shielding Namwan, says Mahama. That in a nutshell is what he is saying. I only do that story on the back of the fact that a lot of these people who have invested in some of these entities, not just Men's Gold, have been lamenting in recent times on the back of the promise made by His Excellency the President. They want their money. And it appears a lot of those who invested are not going to get their dividends, at least not anytime quickly. But from the Men's Gold end, Mahama believes government is shielding Namwan. Those are 2 quick stories from the Daily Guide.
So from the first one that you did with the MP who was killed, apparently his phone had a tracker on it. That's how come the police were able to get the suspects that they grabbed.
Technology.
But the first person they got also said that, he bought the phone from someone. So he bought it at 680 Ghana cedis, I think, and also sold it for 780. The person who bought it for 780 said, I bought it at 680 from another person. The 680 also now says, I bought it from someone. So that's the Mohammed that they're trying to they're trying to get now.
So when they get the source, the first person from whom the phone was apparently bought, then at least we'll make a headway.
Yes. So on that note, let me ask Erastus, because with the robberies in Ashanti, has there been some arrest or some tracking device that's led the police to arrest some people like we've seen in this case?
Well, it's only in the case of the mobile money vendor who was gunned down at Onye, close to Ejiso, who the police have made a press conference to that effect that they've arrested some 2 people, and so they are now taking them through investigations and all that. But the others, we are yet to see police make advances in that direction. What worries me most and other residents in the area is that the consistency from June and down to now, 8 people have been shot. About 6 of them, have died, and including a pregnant woman who was stabbed at Ampetia whilst trying to rescue her daughter from one of the robbers. Yesterday, what we witnessed was quite unusual. You know that in the past 3 days, we've had 2 people shot. At least 3 people.
And technology is not helping us this morning. The connection is going bad with Erastus. But I think we have him back now. Erastus? Okay, yeah. Erastus, let's try again. You're telling us about exactly what happened yesterday.
Yeah. And so we went to the spot where this Chinese national was shot. That was on Tuesday morning around 9 a.m. So whilst we're doing the report from there live on midday, I saw two men on a motorbike at top speed, cross the road on the other side. So I tried to find out what was happening. And before I could say, Jack, they've attacked a young man who came out of one of the banks, or Fidelity Bank. He was holding a polythene bag full of money. And he had gone to the mobile money vendor just a walking distance from where the Chinese man was shot. Apparently, eyewitnesses are telling us that they saw the two men on the motorbike parked there for some time. And so just as I dropped the line from the midday live, we saw them grab the bag from the young man and speed off. And the police came in about 5 minutes after the two robbers had, sped off. And so it has thrown the Ahojo, Achenga Junction area residents there into a state of, panic and fear. Yesterday, some of them closed shop immediately and went home. Some of them started running around, not knowing what to do. Just a week ago, the same area, a walking distance down the Kasi Road, they had another person shot by two men on a motorbike just before the Chinese man was shot. If you descend downwards, going to the Mayanka area, another person was shot there as well. Before, another man was shot at Atonsu. That's about 2 miles from the Ahojo area. That person died instantly. And so
so our connection has just gone bad again. But Erastus would still be with us, and he will join us when we engage the Ashanti Region Police. But there's a related story that, Ben, you want to share in one of the papers. And this has to do with the earlier conversation about the defects on the buildings.
Yes, but right before I get into that, because Erastus brought this up, I just want to, I don't know, maybe call them a few tips to share. Sometimes people get out of the bank, you have a backpack and all of that. You're making yourself a target. Let's watch how you enter your car. For me, first thing I do, I lock up before I even buckle up. Sometimes you enter your car, you've not locked up. People can easily come open, especially when they've seen you coming out of a bank and all of that. So let's all be more security conscious, because it appears nowadays the robberies are too many. But in the Daily Statesman, dilapidated classroom block poses danger to students at SRA. I'll just summarize on this one, because some years back, it nearly caved in, compromising some students. It's been years on, and this is in the Yilo Krobo Municipality Assembly of the Eastern Region. I'm highlighting this because here we are again. Let's not wait till disaster strikes. At least it's struck. We're losing too many lives unnecessarily, Mama.
Yeah, absolutely. Erastus, we have to wrap up on this. I don't know if you're still with us and if you can hear us. Okay, well, the connection is... Okay, Erastus, just on this issue of the position on the ballots of the political parties, what are the people in Kumasi in particular saying?
Well, there are people within, especially the strongholds of the NDC, who think that this is the second coming of ex-President John Mahama, and so it fits directly into their message. And there are people, many people, who think that, well, number one for Nanado is just that he's a winner, and that the Esroho, as they call it, up there, is the favorite spot of the NPP. And so it just means that he has won. And there's no qualms about that. So there are people who are interpreting it to mean victory for their candidates, depending on where they fall. Yeah.
Yeah. Erastus, we're going to be connecting with you a bit later on when we talk about the security matters in the Ashanti region. But for now, for the review, that will be all. We'll take a breather, Ben. We'll bring you sports, and it's all about the Champions League. Manchester United, Chelsea, they started on a pretty good note. I can't say the same with Liverpool, because it was Ajax that scored for them.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Whether some other person scored, they still won. Just as with Manchester United,
Yeah.
Anthony Martial actually netting against his own team.
Oreko is up next with details. Let's talk to the Ashanti Region Police now. That's how we've hashtagged this conversation on the back of the robbery incident recorded. And our colleagues in Ashanti Region,